Good morning, guys. Welcome from the village. We are right here in Karateng, in Western Kenya, in Kisumu. For those who are joining us for the first time, I'm a Kenyan American who does everything to do with returning to the village. So we help folks prepare to come back to the village through construction, real estate, and advice on how to do this. So this morning, I want to spend about 10 minutes or so talking about just a public service announcement. And so nothing to do with construction that we talk about or nothing to do with all the typical things. But I want to share with you a really horrific story that is going on. It actually happened right before I left Long Beach, California. And unfortunately, it's been on my radar. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I want to spare 10 minutes to share with you a critical thing that you can help with by spreading the word. There's a Kenyan American family that is really in distress. They had an incident where their father or father-in-law came to the US and disappeared, and they're still looking for him. So what you can do in helping is simply spread the word. They are missing this senior citizen called Mr. Ruben Waithaka. He came to Birmingham, Alabama, about a month ago with his wife. They came for a graduation ceremony, I believe, for one of their grandkids. And the elderly person has been missing now for a month. So if you can help spread the word, please do so. I'm going to post as much information as I have here. And all we need is people sharing information. If anyone knows something that could help, please help. Because the challenge with this thing is the longer it takes, the harder it is to find the missing person. Again, today is more of a public service announcement. Anyone who can help spread the word, do whatever you can, post it on your channels so that we can help this family find their father. Unfortunately, this is not the first time that such a thing has happened. It happens in the US and many people are not aware. And so what we don't want folks to do is to blame the family for what just happened. There's a family too that is known to me from California that experienced a similar event a few years ago. That was probably almost 10 years or so. And they also had a case where I believe it was this young man's mother who came to visit and simply disappeared. It has been almost 10 years without a trace. So it is unfortunate that this has happened, and unfortunately again, these things happen in the US. Maybe we don't talk about them as much. I don't know if it happens in other places too. So despite all the abilities we have to look for a missing person, sometimes it doesn't work out as we think. So please help find Ruben Waithaka. I'll post his picture and video somewhere so that anybody with any useful information, please share or call the nearest police police, and then anything you can do to help. Because again, it's unimaginable to have a scenario where your parent comes to visit and then they walk out of your house never to be seen again. So the information we have is that this elderly man had traveled with his wife from Kenya to come for graduation. I think less than 48 hours after they arrived, the man, I think, walked out of the house. And then he must have been given a ride by somebody from their home to the nearest gas station. The latest video that has been shared comes from a gas station. So somebody dropped him off, and then he walked around, and he's not been seen. He's not been seen since then. So please, if there's any way, hi mama, you wanna join me? Okay, come on, sweetie. But you gotta sit, mama. Okay, you gotta sit. Yeah, you gotta sit down. You gotta sit down. Sorry guys, again, that's my supervisor joining me as always. So I believe Mr. Ruben walked out of the house. Somebody gave him a ride. And by the way, hitchhiking in the US is not always a good idea. But you know, when you don't live in the US, things like that may not seem as dangerous. So somebody gave him a ride to a nearby gas station, and he walked around to some trucks that were nearby, and he's not been seen since then. So all they need right now is people spreading word, and if you can keep them in your prayers, because it's almost impossible to imagine what this family is going through right now. It's one thing to lose a family member, maybe through death. It's all distressing. What is that? Did you say hi? Okay. Yes. It's another thing to really have somebody disappear without a trace and nobody really knows what's going on. Now, I don't want to speculate about what may have occurred in this particular case because there's almost unlimited possibilities. Because, for one, you're talking about a senior citizen who had just arrived after a very long flight. And by the way, flying from Kenya to the US takes many, many hours. And so, yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna get it. Can you wait? Yeah. So it's hard to tell what exactly happened. To you wanna get down? Okay, mom. There you go. Yeah, it's hard to speculate with certainty what actually happened. That's why I'm gonna say that we have to wait to get word from the family. But apparently, the old man appeared out of sorts to some degree. Nobody really knows what was going on. But he walked out of the house, got a ride, and he's still missing. Nearly a month later, they were meant to actually travel back to Kenya, I believe, in June. And now the wife can't travel because they're still waiting for word. And when these things happen, I can assure you that it's extremely distraughting to the family because not only are you worried about the fate of your loved one, but then you also have pressure from everywhere because people care. People call, people want to find out what's going on. And when it's out of your ability to change things, it's really tough. And like the family that I mentioned to you in Los Angeles who had a similar experience where their mother came to visit and at some point just walked out, may have been just strolling and just disappeared, never to be seen till today. I think so. Because the last I heard, maybe 2 years ago, she had not been found. And it's been a few years since then. It's very hard to figure out what may have happened or where she is. But at this point, it's only been a month. We are keeping hope alive, seeing that hopefully maybe he's somewhere unidentified, somebody is caring for him. They just don't know how to connect him with the family. That's the best case scenario. But again, any number of things could happen. So what we're hoping is that the old man is still alive somewhere, being cared for by a person who just doesn't know how to connect him to the right person. So the best thing you can do is spread the word. He's called Ruben Waithaka. They came from Kenya to visit their family, and the old man has not been seen. So like I said, please don't blame the family. This is the first thing that many people do. They start asking questions about who did what and who. At this point, it does not matter. We don't care who did what. The most important thing is to spread the word, find the man. Then maybe after that, once it's been found, then people can do like a postmortem, find out, okay, who did what can we do to change things. But then again, also, this is another reminder for those of us who bring guests from Africa to visit us in diaspora, not just in the US. When they come, please do all you can to make sure that our folks are safe, which is what everybody does, but things happen. Things happen. In the US, I know, especially with the older parents, there are folks who may even have earlier onset of dementia that has not been diagnosed. Because in Kenya, for the most part, especially in the village, if you have dementia to some degree, we simply dismiss it as a form of aging. So we simply say, oh, my parents are just old and they're forgetting stuff. But I think it's just being old. In the US and in many Western worlds, things like that are often thought of in terms of medical conditions that need to be managed. Back at home here, it's just like, even my grandmother had dementia. But for the most part, we looked at it as just that she was just being an older person and it was okay. So it could be issues of memory loss, dementia, just being disoriented. Because again, that flight from Kenya to the US is very long. It could disorient somebody. He might have even had some medical condition that had not been diagnosed. That is not clear yet because even listening to the Sun, not much has been shared about potential medical issues that could be at play. So at this point, please let's be very thoughtful. Let's be very kind to the family. They are going through a very hard time. So the best thing you can do is spread the word, and hopefully we can find Mr. Ruben so he can be joined with the family and he can travel back safely. Because again, this is distressing. Thank you again, and I hope to see your help as we help with this family spread the word. Thank you.